So this week at the Tokyo Game Show, we learned a little bit more about Sony's entry into the virtual reality space. For starters, they've revealed a brand new name, and that is PlayStation VR. Of course, the original project name was Project Morpheus. That was just a code name. Honestly, I liked Project Morpheus. I thought it was kind of futuristic sounding. PlayStation VR, I'm sure it took their marketing team a long time to come up with this name. But honestly, it is probably more marketable to people who don't keep up that much with news and gaming culture and things like that. You know, you go into a store, you hear about Morpheus, you probably won't know what it is, but you hear the word PlayStation VR, well, it kind of narrows it down. So Sony Entertainment's CEO Andrew House was giving an interview to Bloomberg, and he informed us that the PlayStation VR would launch with more than 10 titles in 2016. Which, I mean, doesn't tell us a whole lot. It could be 10, it could be 20, it could be 50, you know, who knows. But they're saying that it's going to be more than 10. And I've told you before in the past that I think that this is, you know, one of the problems for the PlayStation 4. And I do think part of the lack of major exclusive titles so far with the PS4 is due to them getting games ready to display for their VR system, or at least I hope so. But the number of games is going to be a major factor, and not just the number of games, but of course the quality of those games as well. Because when you compare it to the other displays out there, Oculus and Valve, you're going to be getting better quality with those. You're going to be getting a ton of games with those. Oculus, for instance, isn't even out yet, and it already supports over 200 games. So Sony is going to have to tell customers why they should choose their lower-end VR device with fewer games over their competitor. And one of the big factors is going to be cost. And so Andrew was asked about this, and what he said was that PlayStation VR would be priced as a new gaming platform. Not as an accessory, but as a new gaming platform, which is something that honestly I didn't want to hear, because, I mean, Sony's having a hard enough time selling a $200 Vita, and if you look at gaming platforms and their prices, the PS4 is still in the neighborhood of $400. So are they suggesting that people are going to be paying $400 for an accessory to cover your face? And I personally think a $400 VR set is way too expensive from Sony. And Sony hasn't done the best in the past with support for their accessories. You know, one of the biggest complaints about the Vita is the lack of, you know, big games coming to it. Look at the PlayStation Move, same thing there. So I think between the $200 and $300 marker is more of a sweet spot. I do know that it's expensive tech though, and I think it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. Now, I mean, he didn't say that it was going to be $400. He just said that he was going to be placed or priced as a new gaming platform, and their latest new gaming platform was PS4, which is $400. So, do you think that PlayStation VR would sell well if it was priced around $400? What would you be willing to pay for this, or is it something that you're not interested in at all so far? That does it for me, the Red Dragon. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.
Are you listening? Damn.